How you doing? It's a good Erev Shabbos, everybody. This week's Parsha, we have Parshas Veeschanan. We always call it Shabbos Nachamu. That tends to overshadow everything, right? And so first we're talking Shabbos Nachamu, okay? Beyond that, is Parshas Veeschanan has two major things in it. It has the Shema and it has the Ten Commandments. And these things, they tend to overshadow what I think is one of the most important passages in the entire Hebrew Bible, the entire Tanakh, the entire Scripture, because it encompasses a self-sustained apologetic argument for Judaism. Why do I say self-sustained? Because a lot of people who question apologetic arguments, the first thing they're going to say is you can't make an argument that comes out of the Scripture itself. It has to be, according to a lot of people, an external argument. The truth of the matter is that's generally so, right? Even, I would say, within our own Scripture, it's true. If, many miracles that are mentioned in Scripture, Elisha Hanavi, the prophet, I believe in English they say Elisha, he resurrected a baby, who died, he revived the dead, what else did he do? He helped with oil, right? He gave them a blessing that there should be a lot of oil, more than they had, things like this. Okay, very good. But how do you prove it really happened, this and that? And even if it did happen, how do you prove it's really from God? We accept it based on that it's in our holy books. But what are the holy books based on? Why do we accept these holy books? And Maimonides brings this Kuzari and the others, and contemporary times. I saw Rabbi Victor Miller, Zecher Tzadik Kodesh L'Vrocha. I remember meeting him. Was a great apologist, and in our current age, Rabbi Lawrence Kellerman, Label Kellerman, who I met once, maybe more than once. Also, the same type of arguments he brings, and he brings some very important points. And many other people have brought these, Aisha Torah likes to bring this up a lot, and others. The apologetic arguments that we have, and I personally find it to be extremely convincing. The argument is that, other religions, if you have a question, what do? They say, well, just have faith. Accept this on blind faith. They don't really have an answer, right? And even certain things in Judaism are like that as well. But they are all rooted back on this, which makes it much more of a logical argument. So that is Deuteronomy chapter 4, I believe, verse 32, 33, 34, a few verses there. It says, Sha'al na liyamim rishonim asher hoya lefanecha. please ask. That word no could be translated as now or please. It's almost, I think of it like, it's like please now, because anna also means please. And ato with the iron is also now. There's a different type of now, but this is like now, like you tell a little kid, he asks for something. They said, what's the magic word? And he says, now. You're supposed to say please, you're saying now. So it's like please now. And when and what I'm saying is that please now, that no, that sha'al na, the nowness of that na is not just when Moses was saying it 3,300 years ago. But it's now, it's for all generations. Moses is daring us. Sha'al na, please ask. The days that were before you, from the day when God made Adam on the earth. So this very day, from one end of the heaven to the other end of the heaven. Had anything like this great thing ever happened? And he goes further to say, or was it even heard of? Meaning, not only did anything like this ever happen, but did anyone ever make up a story like this? So that type of a dare, that's a pretty scary thing to make. Meaning, God's won this bet for 3,300 years. At every moment he asks us, please ask, learn history, learn comparative religion. Has anything like this ever happened or even been heard of? That the whole nation should hear the voice of God, as you did, the voice of the living God, as you did when you heard the voice of God coming out of the fire on Mount Sinai, Vayechi, and lived. And that's fascinating. Leib Kellerman, who I mentioned, he brings in his book Permission to Receive. He brings the following. He says, it's fascinating that Moses would specifically say and lived, because he found, doing his research, one story in the Hindu story where a whole large group of people all heard their deity speaking, and they were given that they were going to die in the war, and they all died. And so it wasn't a first-hand account, the way Moses was saying. He was saying, this happened in front of your eyes, you saw this. He was given, this is how Deuteronomy is, a first-hand account. At least that's what it claims, and that's what I believe it to be. And these others, the Hindu story, it wasn't a first-hand account. It was someone else was telling the story about how all these people died. And so therefore, it's already, it's almost as if it's that this story is being hinted to in our Bible. And so there we have it. It's very powerful. Then he goes on to say, or did one nation ever been taken out of another nation? We say this at the Haggadah on Pesach, with signs and wonders and tests and this and that. Oisis and Mifsim, right? Like you did. right? Leinecha, in front of your eyes. Meaning all this happened in front of, meaning he said, you saw this. You were there. So, that's it. We have the answer, So, then what does he say after it? Ata hareisa l'da'as ki Hashem hu l'kimeinu et milvado. You were shown to know that the Lord, He is God. There's nothing else but Him. That's what Maimonides brings. The first mitzvah is not to not to know, not to believe in God, but to know that God exists. Very powerful. And so, how do you get away with telling such a story if it's not true? You can't get away with it. There's no way to make up a story like this. If it wasn't true, no one would believe it. That would be like, with all due respect, but it'd be like, if somebody, what do you call it? What do you call it? They said they were alone in the woods and the flying saucer came down, right? And all right, take it or leave it. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. We don't know. Maybe they have some evidence, Maybe they do, maybe they don't. If they say, and he had some kind of message, and you should do this or that, all right, maybe yes, maybe no. The same thing. Someone says the angel Gabriel told him this. Someone tells you what is this guy doing? Someone tells you that he was up on Hil Kamora and he got some golden plates, right? Take it or leave it, who knows? But then, I was there once, Hil Kamora, I saw it. Alright, it's a hill, shkoyach, excuse me. If someone says they're, you saw it in the middle of the Super Bowl, you saw it happened, how the flying saucer came down. Well, either no one would believe it, or it's true, or it happened. I mean, you can't. I'm sorry. There's all this traffic from Woodstock. I'm a little distracted. But basically, that's what we're seeing here. So, so that's the story. So, I mean, no one could get, like, some people say, oh, Ezra made this up, or in the times of Josiah, they found this and it was all made up. No, nobody would believe it. Like, just like you couldn't get away with saying, oh, the what do you call it? When 1,000 years ago, the whole continent of Europe went underwater, but the people magically grew gills and they were able to breathe underwater and they were fine. And it happened like that for 3 days and then it went back up. You can't get away with a story like that. Either it happened or it didn't happen, You can't make up that story. No one will believe it. The same thing here. No one would believe. Until about 150 years ago, everybody believed that God spoke at Mount Sinai. The Jews believed it, the Christians believed it, the Muslims believed it, everybody believed it. And the Buddhists and the Hindus had no reason to deny it. Everybody believed it. And all of a sudden people stopped believing. With no reason to stop believing. So they stopped believing. Baruch Shalom should help us. We should not only believe, we should know. We were shown to know that the Lord is God, there's nothing else but Him. They say that the Brisker Rav, he had a Kabbalah from Chaim Volozhiner, that if you have this in mind, you'd be saved from anything. They were escaping from the Nazis. And they were about to reach the border, and there was a checkpoint, and they were hiding in a car or something, and he said, everybody have in mind, there's nothing else but God, and we'll be safe. The Nazi officer looked, he saw one of them, he said, Juden, and he went to go get his commander, the commandant, to go help him, and so Brisker Rav said, no, you have to meditate with all your heart. There's nothing else but Him. Someone here is not meditating hard enough. So so they meditated harder, and they were saved. That when the Nazis came back, says there's nobody here. Right? So, and that's the koyach veinad mulvadai. Shepherds will help him. That we should be Zoiche, Take, to live this Einoid Mulvadoi, to recognize Einoid Mulvadoi. And that's Chos. Baruch Shalom should help us. We should learn and daven the mitzvahs of Ma'asim Tovim, and be ehrlich. And in that way, when we live that Einoid Mulvada, why is it that some people have a hard time with this? They'll hear this apologetics and they're like, they come up with teruts. And why? It's very simple. There's a story by Bilchanan Wasserman. There was a boy, he went off the derech, he left the yeshiva in Baranovich. He came to Bilchanan and he said, I want to debate you. Bilchanan said, if you had these questions before you left the yeshiva, and that's why you left, I'm happy to debate you because then you have questions. But if you have if you first you met this girl, whatever it is, whatever reason you left Yiddishkeit, and then you have questions, you're not looking for answers, you're looking for questions. So we have to be looking for answers. So no, Baruch Shalom should help us. We should be Zoiche to all kinds of good things, to learn, to daven, and in this way we can be worthy to see all of the answers what we're looking for, and recognize that there's nothing else but God, and then what? And that means we have obligations in life. We have to keep Torah mitzvahs and learn and daven and do what we're supposed to do. And in this chus, we could be zoiche to all kinds of gewaltige things. So some of the guys asked me, only the first two dibros they heard, only the first two 10 commandments. I'm the Lord your God. I took you out of the land of Egypt. It's the first one. The second one is you should have no other gods before me. The truth is that all the 613 commandments can be summarized in those two. Meaning all the positive commandments, all the thou shalts, the 248 thou shalts, are expressions of I'm the Lord your God, recognizing God as our God. And all the 365 negative commandments, all the thou shalt nots, you shall have no other gods before me. And really the truth is the whole thing is tzaddik b'munu sayichya, the righteous lives by his faith. And we should express that with doing mitzvahs, doing what we're supposed to do. Shepherds will helfen, Paxim Zoichazan, it's Gal's Kvod Shemayim, like it says in the Haftarah that we're going to read tomorrow. V'nigla Kvod Hashem, v'ro chol boser yachdov ki pi Hashem diber, and that the glory of the Lord will be revealed, and all flesh will see it together, because the mouth of the Lord proclaims this. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and let's continue the conversation. Thank you.